After a few years of frustration about the tiny amount of ink in each cartridge, combined with the ridiculous costs from Epson, most recently, and HP, before that, I decided to change my printer instead of spending another $70 on ink that wouldn't last long, with the hope of reducing the need to I don't print that much, occasional work from home documents, my daughter's homework every now and then, etc. So I didn't need anything fancy. I found reviews of this machine on PC Mag. What sold me was that the cost per page, and the number of pages listed for a cartridge of ink, made me think I'd be happier with this machine. That fact that it is advertised as including a year's worth of ink makes me think that if that is, indeed, true, then I saved a ton of money over the space of a year by buying Ink Plus machine rather than just replacing my ink cartridges in the Epson, again. Setup was easy, just hit next. My computer doesn't have a CD drive, but downloading the driver from brother was no big deal, easy to find and worked just fine. I printed a photo as a test, and the quality is quite good, with no lines on it, and edge-to-edge coverage on an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I used my phone to print, and it couldn't have been easier. I have a work Windows machine, a nice Dell laptop, and a home Windows machine, a horrible Acer laptop that I regret purchasing, and installation of the software was easy on both. No calls to customer service, and it didn't take long, and I didn't have to troubleshoot, it just installed exactly the way I expected it to. The real test of whether it holds up to my 5-star review will be how long the initial cartridges last. Cost per page / large capacity ink cartridges are the two reasons I chose this machine. I am hopeful that this machine is the bargain that I hoped it would be, and that I'm just as happy a year from now as I am today. So far, so good. I've owned a few printers of different brands over the years and this one is my favorite. I'm on a budget and it was a bit more than I wanted to spend, but I consoled myself that I would save on it, which can rival the cost of a printer itself sometimes. So, fed up with issues I was having with another brand, I took the plunge, and I have no regrets. I found setup to be very easy using my iPhone. It took a minute to figure out Apple's AirPrint since this was my first time using it, but once I did I found printing from my phone was as easy as printing from my Mac. My previous printer was an Inkhog, the level was visibly dropping even though I don't print much, the level on this one is still at the top. Part of the reason I chose this printer is that the ink should last a year. Obviously that will vary from user to user based on personal usage, but based on mine I expect it to last. Given that, I was surprised to read about maintenance ink issues. I have not had to try a test page or do anything that would use it, so I will have to report on that later. But I am extremely happy with my device. One thing, it is a bit loud. It described the sound as a whirring as the sheets come out, but I personally don't find it bothersome. To me it is white noise. This is by far the best printer I have ever had. I have printed so many colored pages and the ink is literally lasting forever. Also, had to figure out how to scan it. Unlike my last printer, this one was so easy to figure out and worked perfectly. Click link in description for more reviews.